Don't you dare walk away. This is the only copy I have, and now it's gone. I need it reimbursed.
Ma'am, I gave you the receipt with your ticket. If it isn't in your purse, maybe it's slipped under the menu.
People like you always try to get away with things. You probably kept it so you could, I don't know, ring something funny up
People
later.
like me,
That's
I'm
enough.
just
Miss
doing
Whipper,
my
let me print you
job.
A white woman slammed her finger in the face of a tired black waitress. She yelled so loud the whole diner froze. People like you always hide things. Where's my receipt? But what she didn't know, that quiet waitress she was bullying, the one she mocked, pushed, and called a thief, she wasn't just a worker. She was one of the highest-ranked intelligence officers in the entire U.S. military, secretly home on leave after a classified operation overseas. And when the truth came out, when the whole diner learned who she really was, what happened next? Left that town in fear, tears, and total silence. Before we jump in, make sure you subscribe to the channel so you never miss stories like this. And drop a comment telling me where you're watching from. I know you stole it, the woman screamed. Her name was Clara Whitford, 48, short blonde hair sprayed stiff, wearing a beige blazer that made her look rich but angry. She stood so close her spit hit the counter. Across from her stood a young black woman in a blue apron. Janelle Carver. 27. Calm eyes. Soft voice. Hands steady even when her heart wasn't. It was late evening at the Magnolia Diner off Highway 63 in rural Arkansas. Green vinyl booths. Old lights humming overhead. The smell of fries, grease, and something burnt. Clara leaned in again. Give me my receipt. You people always think you can get away with things when no one is looking. The diner went silent. Two truckers stopped chewing. A teenager froze with ketchup dripping off her fries. Even the soda machine seemed to go quiet. Janelle didn't flinch. She just held a plastic cup in one hand and a small order paper in the other. Ma'am, she said softly, I handed it to you right after you paid. You put it in your purse. No, I didn't. Clara barked. And you better watch your tone, little girl. The words hit the room like a slap. A camera above the counter blinked red, recording everything. Janelle looked ordinary. Gray t-shirt. Blue apron with stains. A pen tucked behind her ear. To most people she looked like just another tired worker trying to survive another shift. But she carried herself in a strange way, straight spine, steady breath, eyes that watched everything without reacting. Like she'd seen far worse things than a rude customer. Because she had. Janelle wasn't just a waitress. She wasn't even from this town. She had only come back for 2 weeks to help her aging aunt, working part-time at the diner to pass the time and stay under the radar. Under the simple clothes and quiet voice was a woman who held one of the highest intelligence clearances in the entire United States Armed Forces. A decorated specialist who had traveled to places most people couldn't pronounce. A woman whose name held weight in rooms where decisions were whispered, not written. But no one here knew that. Not Ray the manager. Not the customers. And definitely not Clara Whitford, who now stood inches from her face. Janelle stayed still. Her breathing slow. Her voice soft. Her hands relaxed. A storm in a glass jar. Clara jabbed her finger toward Janelle's chest. You think I don't know how people like you operate? She hissed. You take things. You hide things. ULIE. Janelle blinked once. Slow. Come. Ma'am, I didn't touch your things. If you want, I can help you look. I don't need help. Clara shouted loud enough for the booths in the back to hear. I need you to admit you were trying to steal from me. Just like. She stopped herself, but the word she almost said lingered in the air like smoke. The customers didn't move. Some frowned. Some looked away. No one stepped in. Janelle felt the sting, but she didn't react. She'd heard worse in her life. In places far more dangerous. From people who didn't hide their hate behind polite smiles. Clara tossed her purse on the counter, dumping everything inside. Lipstick, gum wrappers, loose pills. Look. See? She said, waving the bag. No receipt. Because you took it. You thought you could trick me? She pointed at Janelle again. You're nothing but a... All right, let's calm down. Ray Lopez, the diner manager, stepped in. 55. Tired eyes. A limp from an old knee injury. He'd broken up fights before but never one like this. Clara, he said gently, let's step aside and talk. No, she snapped. She stays right here until she admits she stole from me. Janelle exhaled slowly. I didn't steal anything. Clara scoffed. Of course you'd lie. You people always do. A soft gasp rippled through the diner. Janelle's jaw tightened, but she said nothing. Clara shoved her phone toward Ray. Call the police. Now. Clara. Now, she shrieked. I want her written up. Fired. Arrested. Whatever it takes. She laid her dirty hands on my things. I never touched you, Janelle murmured. But Clara wasn't listening. She was enjoying the attention. The power. You think you can just walk around like you belong here? She spat. Look at you. Look where you work. You're lucky someone like me even eats at this dump. Ray shot Janelle an apologetic look. Janelle gave a small nod. She'd seen this dance before. Anger. Power. Less. The same old cycle. Fine, Clara said. If no one else will look for my receipt, I will. And she's staying right there. She stormed toward the soda machine area, patting the counters, the trays, her pockets again, getting more furious each second. You're useless, she muttered at Janelle. Always pretending to be the nice one. I see you. Janelle finally spoke, voice low. What do you see, ma'am? Clara smirked. A scared little waitress who can't do her job. Janelle held her gaze. Still calm. Still steady. I'm not scared, she said. Clara rolled her eyes. You should be. For a second, the diner held its breath. The lights buzzed overhead. A truck rumbled outside. The security camera blinked again. Then, found it. Clara screeched. Everyone jumped. She held something in her hand. A small piece of paper. Her receipt. But her face twisted with confusion. Because the receipt was crumpled. Still warm. And it had a faint smear of lipstick on it. Exactly the same shade she was wearing. Ray frowned. Clara, where did you find that? Clara froze. Her mouth opened. Closed. Opened again. In my purse, she whispered. The purse she dumped out earlier. The purse she swore she checked. The purse she accused Janelle of stealing from. Silence fell again. Janelle didn't smile. Didn't smirk. Didn't say I told you so. She just watched Clara unravel. Clara stepped back, clutching the receipt like it was burning her fingers. I must have missed it, she stuttered. It doesn't change, she still. But no one believed her anymore. Eyes turned cold. Judging. Disappointed. Even the teenager with the ketchup fries whispered, she lied. Clara backed away from Janelle, face bright red. You don't have to look at me like that, she snapped. You think you're better than me? Janelle finally spoke. Soft. Controlled. I never said that. Ray crossed his arms. But you acted like it, he said to Clara. Clara's lips trembled. Her power, gone. Her confidence, cracked. Her lies, exposed. And something in Janelle's eyes made her flinch. Something quiet. Something deep. Something strong. Something that hinted, this woman is not who you think. Not even close. Clara swallowed hard. What are you? She whispered, voice shaking. Janelle didn't answer. Not yet. Clara stepped back, gripping the crumpled receipt. The diner watched her, waiting for the next move. Janelle stood tall, silent, her past and power still hidden beneath the apron. The truth was close. The flip was coming. The storm had only just begun. The diner stayed frozen. Clara Whitford, who moments ago looked 10 feet tall, now shrank into herself, clutching her crumpled receipt like it was the last bit of power she had left. Janelle stood still behind the counter. Calm. Steady. Eyes soft but unreadable. Ray Lopez, the manager, rubbed his forehead. Clara, you need to apologize. Clara's head snapped up. Apologize? To her? She said, pointing a shaking finger at Janelle. That's ridiculous. She made me doubt myself. She confused me. Ray sighed. Ma'am, you yelled at her. You accused her. You insulted her. And she never raised her voice once. A trucker in the back muttered, yeah, leave her alone. Another customer added, you were out of line. Clara's eyes darted around the room. Every face looked disappointed. Some angry. Some disgusted. And Janelle? Janelle didn't say a word. Her silence made Clara shake even more. Finally she spat out, fine. Whatever. She turned stiffly toward Janelle, trying to keep her chin high. I apologize. But she didn't mean it. Not even a little. Janelle just nodded. Thank you, ma'am. She said it with calm grace. Almost too much grace. Clara frowned. What's with that look? She snapped. You're acting like you know something I don't know. Ray stepped forward. Clara, maybe you should leave before? And then, the diner door swung open so hard it hit the wall. Everyone turned. Two men walked in. Both tall. Both serious. Both wearing dark suits that didn't match anything in this small-town diner. Their eyes swept the room with slow, precise movements. Clara frowned. Who are they? Ray whispered, "They don't look like locals." The two men walked straight, directly, toward Janelle. The diner's eyes widened. Clara took a tiny step back. The men stopped in front of Janelle, heels clicking on the old tile floor. The taller one spoke. "Lieutenant Commander Carver," he said firmly. "We've been trying to reach you." The diner gasped. Clara's jaw dropped so fast it almost hit the counter. Ray blinked. "Lieutenant, what?" Janelle exhaled slowly, then untied her apron. "I told you all to use my leave time," she said calmly. "Why are you here?" The second man spoke. "Ma'am, there's been a development overseas. Your presence is requested immediately. A transport is waiting." Clara stared at Janelle with her mouth hanging open. "You're military?" she whispered. The tall man corrected sharply. "She's not just military." He reached into his jacket pocket and placed something on the counter. A badge. Black and gold. Heavy. Serious. Janelle gently closed her fingers over it. She finally looked at Clara. "I'm the Deputy Intelligence Lead for Special Operations Command," she said softly. "I've helped manage missions that would make most people lose sleep." The diner went dead silent. The trucker who had been chewing earlier slowly put his fork down. The teenager's eyes went huge. Ray nearly dropped a plate. Clara looked like her bones had melted. "You," Clara stuttered. "You're lying." The tall man spoke again. "We do not lie about national security, ma'am." Clara staggered back like she'd been pushed. Janelle took off her apron and folded it neatly. "I came home to rest," she said. "To help my aunt. To feel normal again. To breathe." She paused. "But even here, even when I'm just trying to serve people food, someone finds a way to look at me like I'm nothing." Clara blinked fast. "I didn't know." "You didn't care," Janelle replied softly, finishing her sentence for her. The words hit Clara harder than any scream could have. A couple at the booth whispered to each other. She treated a war hero like trash. Not just a hero. An officer. In one of the highest departments. Clara trembled. "For a receipt," someone said under their breath. The two men in suits stepped closer, waiting for Janelle's signal. But Janelle didn't move. She walked around the counter. Slow. Calm. Every step was steady, like she had marched through storms far worse. Clara backed away until her heels hit a booth. Janelle stopped inches from her. Their height difference didn't matter. Their clothes didn't matter. The whole world felt like it was watching. "I don't want revenge," Janelle said quietly. "I don't want to hurt you." Clara's eyes filled with fear. And something else. Shame. "I just want you to remember this," Janelle continued. She leaned closer, not threatening, just honest. "You never know who you're talking to. You never know what they've survived. Or what they've sacrificed. So treat people like people." Clara's chin quivered. I'm sorry," she whispered. "I mean it now. I'm really sorry." This time the apology was real. Janelle nodded. "I accept it. Not because Clara deserved it, but because Janelle deserved peace." Ray stepped forward, voice filled with respect. "Ma'am, I didn't know. If I had." Janelle shook her head. "Ray, you treated me with kindness. That's enough." Ray swallowed hard. His eyes looked a little shiny. The two suited men approached her again. "Commander," the taller one said. "We need to depart." Janelle gave one last look around the diner. The booze. The old tiles. The soda machine with the sticky button. This small place where she tried to be invisible, and failed. She turned to Ray. "Take care of the staff," she said. "They're good people." Ray nodded hard. "Yes, ma'am." Then she turned to Clara, who looked like she wanted to disappear. "Clara," Janelle said gently, "this is your chance to be better than you were 5 minutes ago." Clara nodded slowly. Tears slipped down her cheeks. "Thank you," she whispered. I needed to hear that." Janelle gave her a small, calm smile. Then she walked to the door, escorted by the two agents. As she stepped outside, the night air hit her face, cool and quiet. For the first time all night, she looked relieved. Almost light. The diners watched through the windows as a dark government SUV pulled up. The door opened. Janelle slid inside. And just like that, she was gone. The diner stayed silent for a long moment. Then the teenager finally spoke. She was a hero, and people treated her like trash. Ray sighed deeply. "Not anymore," he said. Inside the diner, Clara wiped her eyes, looking at the empty doorway where Janelle had just stood. Her voice cracked. "I judged her," she whispered. "And she still showed me more grace than I ever showed her." Outside, the SUV disappeared into the night. And Janelle Carver's final words echoed long after she left. Respect is free, but hate always costs you something. If you enjoyed this story, make sure you subscribe for more. And tell me in the comments, what would you have done if you were in that diner?